Married with Channels, a podcast with a married couple talking TV and shit and movies. Mostly TV.
Yeah.
I'm Moose, that's Jody.
Hi.
We're married.
We are.
We have children.
We do.
You might hear one of them banging around upstairs here.
Yep. Super fun.
And this week we're talking about a couple of documentaries.
Yeah.
Kind of, sort of.
I love that category. I love documentaries. I'm just so nerdy like that, though.
Yeah. And we'll get to one that I thought was very different from a documentary that you're accustomed to.
Sure.
It's interesting. There's so many different ways you can do a documentary, but let's just get right into it. Also, this podcast brought to you by Honey. Go to joinhoney.com/married. We'll have more info on that come up a little bit. We start with New York Times presents
Framing Britney Spears.
Framing Britney Spears. The title's a little off.
I know. I wanted to say it's Britney, bitch.
Well, that'd be a little too
I know, but that's
too coy.
I know, but every time we talk about Britney, it's Britney, bitch. Like,
I know.
you just have to. I don't know. You just have to. Like,
Well,
that's a big thing for me.
That was mentioned at least twice during the episode. What's interesting is I thought this was like a full feature-length documentary. I didn't realize it was an episode of New York Times Presents their
Right.
kind of documentary series.
Right.
And that's fine. I almost prefer that. But interesting stuff about Britney Spears. I remember hearing about the conservatorship
Yes.
with her and her dad, and if anything, what I took away from that is she's a more sympathetic character. Like back in the day when that all went down, when she shaved her head and the umbrella bashing against the car for, photograph.
Yeah.
It just like seemed like, oh, look at this crazy broad.
You know, I kind of lumped her in with some of the other train wrecks of that time period. You know, you had a lot of girls that were just going out partying it up and just kind of making some poor choices. And so I kind of lumped her into that group.
Like Paris Hilton and all that.
Yeah, and like Lindsay Lohan. And
it didn't help that she was caught going out with them a couple times.
Right.
Sometimes all three of them together.
Right, exactly. But yeah, I watched this and, I just felt bad for her. And even like as that was happening in our lifetime, after the crazy umbrella thing and shaving her head stuff, I was still kind of rooting for her to get it together and get back to performing, get back to being Britney Spears, So you kind of wanted her to succeed. I didn't kind of write her off as here's just another train wreck that's done with her successful life,
Yeah, no, agreed. And I also pulled away from this a newfound appreciation of her talent. We were talking about this early in the documentary.
Yeah.
How she could actually sing.
She very much can.
I've always thought all you've ever heard, at least I've heard since 1998 or whatever, is the oh baby,
the real
I'm a sex pot.
The bubblegum pop stuff. Yeah.
But when she was a little kid, belting it out on Star Search and in the mall stuff.
Yeah.
She's actually a good singer.
I read somewhere, and I can't recall where it was, but I read an interview at one point in time that they kind of forced her to tame her voice, just kind of sing in that kind of baby doll voice style, just they never really allowed her to perform as she had always done her whole life and really kind of shine with that big, powerful voice. And so, you're I was kind of sad by that. Like, you wonder what could have been. Could she have been an even bigger recording artist and performer? Could she have been happier? Maybe, I don't know.
And what's interesting is she was, soon after she hit the scene, you had your Christina Aguilera, who a lot of people said, "Oh, she's the real singer."
Yeah, and
she's a great singer, but it's almost like that made Britney look worse.
Yeah,
because Christina Aguilera's like, and you got to imagine she probably is like kicking herself, and any management producers who told her to stifle it and do the bubblegum crap. It's like, see, this shit works. Yeah. Talent and good singing actually works.
Yeah. Yep. And I wish I could find that article, that interview again about that particular part where they kind of had her tone down her voice a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. It's, you're new to the business. You think these people know what they're doing. You think they probably, you know, probably know what they're doing when they give you that advice,
Well,
but
yeah, I guess. But look, it worked out for her, for the most part. Also, taken away from this documentary is her dad kind of seems like a crumb bum.
yeah,
I mean, I anytime I hear, if I don't know anything about a person, a celebrity, and I find out their parent is their legal guardian now, even though they're over 30 or their conservator, whatever, controlling their state, all I think is, oh, they're just trying to get their money.
well, and he was not a big supporter in her life for a really big chunk of it.
Yeah, he wasn't really there,
Yeah,
right?
yep. And so for him to just come back and be like, okay, I'm taking over now, that's
Yeah.
pretty suspect to me.
Well, that and the fact that he's had a string of failures, a
Yeah.
gym, I want to say like a coffee shop or something.
Yeah, something like that.
He had like 2 or 3 failed businesses. And
Which is fine. I mean, people fail at
yeah.
business. That's not
9
really,
out of 10 fail, right?
yeah, that's not really a deciding factor for me. The biggest part for me is absence. If you're absent or not
Yeah.
supportive, and then all of a sudden you want a piece of the pie, nope. But
I mean, you think at some point, whoever the judge was that signed on to the conservatorship would have said, wait, you were absent of her life for the first, we'll say, 15 years.
so I think a lot of that had to do with counsel that she was allowed to hire. She wasn't even allowed to hire the lawyer that she wanted to. It was a court appointed one,
Yeah.
because they said, oh, she's not fit to and whatnot. The interesting thing for me is all the testimonials from very close people in that inner circle saying that she was very much in control of her career. Like, that is really admirable
Yeah.
of her as a person, to be that young and to be in charge and to be on top of all of her deals and her endorsements and all of that, It was, I didn't really know that at the time. You just think she probably has good people around her handling all that stuff.
See, what I thought she kind of came across a little not stupid. So kind of what I was getting at is I could see where she might need a conservatorship. I just don't think her dad was the right person for it.
I disagree. I
don't
don't think she needed that at all.
You don't think she was kind of lacking in intelligence?
No, and I don't think that at all. I don't think so. I didn't get any lack of intelligence in listening to her talk at all.
So what really stuck out for me is a lot of times when she was asked questions, she would reply with, ew.
Okay, because of the nature of the questions, let's talk about that. I was going to bring that up anyway. The questions that they were asking her are just ridiculous. And honestly, they would not fly in today's world and society after, the whole Me Too and stuff. It just the ridiculousness of it. You don't see interviewers asking other pop stars if they're a virgin or if they got their boobs done or any of those like uncomfortable sexual questions. Like, that would make anybody uncomfortable.
Yeah.
In an interview.
Yep.
I don't know. I felt like all of that was highly inappropriate and really unfair.
Yeah.
No,
it was. And it's interesting, boy, looking back, you're like, wow, people were asking those questions.
Exactly. And how are you supposed to answer intelligently when you're probably caught a little off guard and uncomfortable? It's almost like, I don't want to say it's sexual harassment, but it kind of is. It's uncomfortable questions. And, how do you, in the moment, you're kind of embarrassed and like, really, why are you asking that? And how are you supposed to form an intelligent response to that,
What I don't get is why her publicist didn't tell Diane Sawyer or whoever, like, okay, yeah, Britney interview, sure. Don't ask about sex stuff, any sex with anybody,
I mean, maybe they just thought with a journalist with Diane Sawyer's caliber that it would not be an issue. I don't know.
That's a fail. That is a big fail. Like,
maybe.
if you have somebody of the magnitude of, Britney Spears at the
Yeah.
time, who was probably the top pop star,
Yeah.
you are going to be, if publicist's job is to do that, it's like, hey, Diane, we're looking forward to the interview. Just a reminder, don't ask her about sex and the virgin stuff. That's a deal breaker. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the people around her failed in that department, but even still, shame on all of those journalists. That was it. It just was painful to watch, and I don't know why, all of that was kind of fired upon her. I think a lot of it too had to do with parents at the time. A lot of parents were like, "Ugh, this Disney Channel star is now so slutty and I don't approve for my child." And it's like, okay, well, they're all gonna grow up sometime. Hello.
Well, I'm going to play devil's advocate here.
Go for it.
I could see almost why they're asking these questions of her, because, at the time, all we know of Britney Spears at the time,
Mm-hmm.
underline, is that she is a, come look at my sexy body. I'm singing about, dating and banging. So that's kind of what that's her world,
But it was a lot of stars' world at that time. And I just feel like she just got fired on. Like, like they just came at her cannons blazing there, because it wasn't just her. It was kind of, there's a child scream. It was kind of, I mean, all of them. I mean, Christina Aguilera did that with the Dirty album. I mean, they were all kind of like, look at us. We're grown up now. We're half clothed,
Yeah. I think it's just an example of a different time. It seems like these days, the pop stars, your Ariana Grandes, I'm not going to mention Cardi B or Meg Thee Stallion, because that's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
But like the run of the mill pop stars,
yeah.
They don't like, correct me if I'm wrong, it could be way off. They don't like say, "Oh yeah, baby, come slap my ass tonight."
Well, Britney wasn't doing that either.
Not literally that, but she was.
Okay.
She had the like form-fitting vinyl outfit for Toxic.
Have you seen Ariana Grande?
I've seen a little bit.
Okay. I mean, she was a Disney Channel star too, but she is not getting heat for being grown up and talking about things in her music and in her art or the clothes that she's wearing. Like, I just feel like it's maybe a little bit different time now. Like, people probably aren't going to ask her, "Are you a virgin?" Because it's just wrong to do that. Like,
yeah. There's a lot of screaming going on.
I know. Do I need to go check on them?
I'm going to check that camera.
Okay.
We'll check the security camera.
Okay.
Checking the security camera. We have to monitor our children all the time.
Yes, we do.
Because they are horrible little humans.
What? No, they're not. Stop it. Don't say that.
No. Let's see. The Britney Spears documentary. Yeah. I think it was a different time. That shit won't fly now.
Yeah.
If the Diane Sawyer of today asks Ariana Grande, "Are you a virgin?" she'd be canceled.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that's not wrong that she'd be canceled. There's a certain amount of, I'd at least suspend her. I don't know about cancel, but
reprimand.
I don't think that would fly anymore.
Yeah. And as well, it shouldn't. I mean, you could see, her response of, "Ew," it is totally appropriate, because I was cringy. Like, really? Why are they asking her this stuff? It's ridiculous. Like, I don't know. Even if you have a friend that you saw and maybe you thought they got a boob job, you're not going to come right out and be like, "Did you get your boobs done?" Like, it's just inappropriate. I don't know. There's just a line, I think, that people crossed with her. And, I think the media and the paparazzi really did contribute to her breakdown that happened. I really do think that it's not just, she's just all messed up and going out and partying all the time. I really do think that contributed to her breakdown.
And, you can make the argument, well, that's part of the job, but that doesn't discount the fact that it's annoying and intrusive. And I didn't even think of like the literal annoyance like a lot of times she's walking out and paparazzi's going, she's covering her eyes. I always thought that was like, don't look at me, but that's more like all these flashes going off. I can't see.
Also, a lot of times I could hear in that footage security going, back off, guys. Stop touching her. Stop touching her. You're hurting her. I heard that a couple times, and it's like, God, they're grabbing her. They're touching her. You know, I know, like, you know, it was kind of mentioned in this documentary, too, that, you know, shaving her head was because she was tired of people touching her hair. Like, what? Oh, man. You know, when you're constantly physically bothered by it, it's more than just annoyance. It's kind of torturous to that individual.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
And it might make her feel a little unsafe. I guarantee her anxiety built from there.
Yeah.
You know?
No doubt.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a fascinating documentary, and it's a nice tight hour long.
One thing I wanted to know is the word count on how many times they said conservatorship.
Oh yeah. Like if there's, should have done a drinking game.
Oh man, I would be dead.
When they
alcohol
say
poisoning,
conservator or conservatorship, take a shot.
Conservatorship. Yeah.
Should we move on to The Lady in the Dale?
All right. I just wanted to say I hope Britney is doing well. I hope she can rise again. I think she is a talented lady, and I would love to see her live someday. That's something I've never gotten to do. So
she's talented and she's still hot. Good for her. It's Britney, bitch.
There goes the sexist stuff. You can't say that.
I'm canceled.
You're canceled.
Lady in the Dale, but first, a quick message from Honey. You know, we shop online. All of us do. You know how you go look for the promo codes?
Yeah.
You've done this. You got into checkout. You're like, ooh, I'm going to go see if I can find that's a pain in the ass.
It is.
But it doesn't have to be with Honey. Thanks to Honey, manually searching for the coupon codes, that's done. Don't need to do that anymore. Honey's a free browser extension. It scours the internet for promo codes, and it applies the best one. It'll find all of them, and it'll start cycling through them.
Oh, cool.
To find the best one for your purchase. It works in over 30,000 stores online, tech, gaming stuff, pizza.
Yeah.
Just save some money on pizza. Yeah, use the Honey plugin.
Yeah, I clicked the easy button, and he clicked the Honey button.
Yeah.
Actually, you don't even have to click it, do you?
No. So when you go to checkout, you click the Honey button, it drops down. It'll actually tell you automatically if you want to apply coupons, and finds a working coupon, it applies it, bada bing, bada boom. So, you know, get you some honey. Go to joinhoney.com/married. It's free. You'll save money on just about everything. What did Honey save you money on? Pizza, clothes, tech, gadgets. Yay! If you don't already have Honey, you could be straight up missing out on free savings. It's literally free and installs in a few seconds. And by getting it, you're doing yourself a solid and supporting this podcast. Yay!
Yay!
So go to joinhoney.com/married. That's joinhoney.com/married. The Lady in the Dale.
Yeah. So I had never heard about this story.
I haven't either.
At all.
I haven't either. And I saw like some sort of quick, some list about the documentary series you need to watch. And one was Lady in the Dale. And not once did it mentioned how it was like this woman who might have been a scam artist trying to launch a 3-wheeled car to combat General Motors, blah, 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 blah. I was like, well, that's interesting. They didn't mention anything about the fact that, the woman is a transgender woman.
Sure.
Who in the 70s
yeah,
was fighting, discrimination and a big corporate entity in General Motors.
So can I just say that I think their idea about the Dale, the 3-wheeled car, and the excellent fuel economy, I think it was a good idea. And I feel like someone should revive it and actually do it.
I don't agree.
Really?
I think the 3-wheel thing is a bad idea just because, like, when they did the test run for the Japanese investors.
Sure.
And he yanked it and it flipped over a couple times. Or no, it rolled on its side and ground on the scrape against the ground.
Sure. I mean, obviously it was not road test ready like that. You'd have to make it safe. You'd have to have anti-rollover,
Yes, but think of just general physics.
Yeah.
Like to keep that one wheel in the back from making the car tip over too much.
Yeah.
God forbid you got to yank it to avoid running over a kid. There's got to be such high-tech suspension and counter lever type balancing systems in that.
Sure.
That seems cost prohibitive to me.
Well, maybe.
I was an engineer for Ford for
Were
15
you?
years, so
Yeah,
I kind of know what I'm talking about. And by Ford, I mean FJORD. It's a little car company in Sweden.
Sure.
But I just don't think that's feasible. I think four wheels it's been that way for 100 years. I don't see that going anywhere, obviously, aside from...
I mean, they have tricycle motors, and don't they have kind of tricycle cars too?
Well, they have the trike.
Yeah.
There's that motorcycle. I think it's called the Spider, the Cam Spider.
Yeah.
And that's two in the front, one in the back.
Yeah, but why can't they do that with a sedan?
I don't know, because you think the Spider would be just as prone to problems because your center of gravity is a little higher.
Yeah.
Granted, the engine's down there, but I think it could work. I think it's probably a lot of money.
I don't know. You just need some smart engineers involved.
Maybe.
But I don't know. It's kind of like, maybe you could see that come to life for real. Maybe. I don't know.
Owie. But I think the documentary towed an interesting line between being sympathetic to her as a transgender woman fighting through this thing, but also not letting slide the fact that she was kind of a flim flam artist, you know?
Right, yeah.
She was kind of a scam artist.
Yeah, there's definitely a sketchy past there, but, in watching the transgender aspect of the story, you're kind of rooting for her to, she lived her life as a woman.
Yeah.
And, she's a little before her time in that regard, but, I felt like people should be free to do that. If that is truly who they are on the inside and how they feel, like, I don't know why it's even a question,
Yeah, but, 40, 50 years ago.
True.
That is, you saw the one reporter.
Yep.
Who just was, I don't want to say obsessed.
Yeah.
But he was earning his paychecks covering Liz Carmichael, the Dale, and the 20th Century Motors. I thought it was, I was blown away, but not surprised when the last episode it was revealed that this Dick Carlson is Tucker Carlson's father, who I think many would agree is probably not the most trans friendly,
sure,
among other things. But it was interesting how I think this documentary was about, there are no black and whites. There's a lot of gray.
Yeah.
Because you had the moments where the employees loved Liz Carmichael and they got behind her and they supported her and they wanted her and the company to succeed.
Yeah.
But then you had the fact that she was and her company were not giving people their deposits back.
Yeah.
And, it seems like they made a good point to make Liz Carmichael seem very loyal and dedicated to the people around her, whether that's her family or the people working for her.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, does not blink an eye to take some stranger's money.
Sure. Yeah, it's interesting. And gosh, what a crazy life. I like that they had a lot of the children interviewed. They're grown now, of course, but that family was kind of a large family and they lived on the run a good majority of their time. I don't know how you do that either.
And they had like 4 kids or something.
I think more than that, but
it wasn't 2.
No.
But they're moving around, and it's not like they're moving around a lot legitimately.
Right. They're on the run hiding.
They're on the run hiding with 4 or 5 kids or whatever. And, Liz in the meantime is probably trying to scramble up some hormone shots here and there and
sure.
Live life as a woman. And
yeah, which I imagine that's not a cheap lifestyle to maintain.
Unless you go to Mexico.
Well, that was part of it. The daughter did do that a few times, go to Mexico on her behalf. So yeah, I don't know. It's a very interesting story. I had never heard about this car or any of it prior to this documentary. So it was kind of like, whoa, what? Oh, okay. All right.
You know who I think made out with this whole thing like a champ was the guy who invented the Dale and sold it to Liz and the company. Like, he just sold it, got his money, doesn't have to deal with any of the scandal or, you know, any of the lawsuits.
Sure. Yep.
I don't know what he sold it for, but
I don't know either, but he got out at the right time, I guess.
yeah. It's interesting how, and I don't know how prevalent this is in transgender relationships, how him and his wife, when he transitioned, stayed together and had a great relationship. I'm sure it was different, but still solid.
Yeah.
And the dynamics changed in a way where Aunt Viv, right? Isn't that what they called their mom?
Yeah.
Like Vivian, their biological mom, they called her Vivian or Aunt Viv. And I just thought that was interesting.
Yep, it is interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I suppose it's what everybody in the family is comfortable with.
Yeah.
I mean, it seemed in the story, too, that Liz was more maternal than Vivian. They talked fondly about how much of a great mom she was.
Yeah.
You know, and so maybe that's why, you know, maybe Vivian didn't feel as maternal to them. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe she herself didn't feel very maternal. But
yeah, maybe not. So, and anything else on The Lady in the Dale? It's on HBO Max, by the way.
It's a good story. People should watch it.
Yeah. No, it's a unique story. It's one that it's one of those like, okay, I don't think we can check any more boxes to make this interesting.
Right.
You got a transgender woman who's got 5,000 kids roving the country, scamming people left and right, takes over a vehicle, tries to challenge a major motor company and fights the law, goes on the lam again.
I like that the documentary.
Oh, and has a flower empire.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We forgot about the flower selling empire. Yeah.
I know, because when they move to Austin, you figure, well, they're done.
Yeah.
But she's
they're
like,
just going to live a quiet life. Yeah.
She still found an opportunity. And
did well with it.
And did well by the people working for her. According to the people they interviewed.
Absolutely.
Who worked for her. Yeah, she took care of them.
Yeah. I think it's just like, I think it's good, too, that you saw the whole journey. They started at the beginning and not just with the car and the Dale and everything after that. You know, they kind of started at, you know, the very beginning of this person's life and through the duration of her life. And yeah, it is an interesting tale. And, you know, she probably got a lot of press and stuff during the scandalous times, but I think this documentary does do a good job of showing that kind of stuff, that she was a good mom, that she took care of her employees, that they actually liked working for her.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
In all of her endeavors. So.
Yeah. So if you're looking for a good, quick documentary, check out the Britney Spears thing. That is on, I think, Hulu or FX. But a good long form thing is the Lady in the Dale on HBO. Go check them out. That's going to do it for Married with Channels for this week. Make sure you subscribe.
Tell your friends, share it,
give us a good review, and go to joinhoney.com/married to get your free honey plug-in. Save some money while you're shopping online.
Money.
Until next time, I am Moose.
And I'm Jody.
Later.
Bye.